Good everyone. And a look here at the scoring trend over the last several months for Ja Morant.
And it's really been a nice trend for him over these last several months. He's been steadily improving in terms of his scoring output. That extra production making him more valuable the further we get along in this season.
So let's take a look at the starters for the Dallas Mavericks. Derek Lively is out there with Davis. Then it's Thompson. Then it's Kyrie Irving. And it's Marshall in at the 3, the small forward. And for Memphis, Morant is the point with Bane out on the wing. Jaren Jackson is out there with Jackson. And it's Edey in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Now here's Thompson. A nice shot by Irving. Here we are early in the NBA season, and teams focus on situational awareness. Doris, what have you noticed so far this season?
Yeah, Kev, these situations are really all about execution, right? Are players poised in late clock situations? First of all, do they recognize where the shot clock is? Can they adeptly and quickly read defenses? So those are some of the things I'm watching for.
And Morant closes it down.
And I'm amazed at Morant's ability to take contact and still stay in full control.
Here's Irving from down in the low post. It goes. Irving's got 5 points so far.
And I like to see this. They're calling his number early, and he's delivering.
They know that if this guy goes off, their chances of winning rise exponentially.
And there's no doubt Morant near the top of the list of elite scorers in this league.
He's getting his first free throw attempt of the night right now.
And I like what he did at the line a season ago. How about 81%?
For Dallas, they've gone 3 of 4 from the field to start out the game. Irving kicks to Thompson. On the wing, Davis, guarded by Jackson. And Davis can't get it to go. Grizzlies have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. Here's Edey. Good. And a nice assist from Morant.
It's like reading a picture book for Morant. He makes it look insanely easy.
Irving for 3. And Desmond Bane pulls it down. And every year, and Greg, we agree, Bane seems to get better and better as a playmaker.
Doesn't overdo anything with his passing. Looks more and more comfortable creating off the driving kick. He's become a large part of this offensive engine. Love seeing a point guard who can explode to the rim like that.
Oh, great attitude and even a better finish.
Boy, it's incredible how much explosive scoring ability can come from the lead guard position. That is a big-time play.
Now, here's Thompson. 4 on the shot clock. Here's Davis. A shot missing. Some solid defense there from Jackson. Memphis leading. Right side, Jackson. Ball's not loose. And it's out of bounds. The Grizzlies able to retain possession here. And while we have a chance, let's take a look at the best free throw shooters in the league from last season. Klay Thompson, number 1.
And no doubt he finished the season right where he should have on that list. He was far and away the best free throw shooter in the league.
Now here, hammer it home! Hammer it home!
That is authority right there.
Irving against Morant. Shot to stop the run. And there's the nice layup by Irving. Irving's got 7 points. And Morant's got the ball here for the Memphis Grizzlies. Their last meeting was in this building where they were able to come out on top.
And the last meeting of these two teams, they were really sharp defensively, disrupting the flow of their offense and causing a ton of turnovers.
I think they took tremendous satisfaction from that performance and ended up winning going away. So is it something they'll look to repeat tonight?
And here is Irving. After Jaren Jackson made that last three-pointer. Thompson outside. And he drives in to the wing right side. Lively finds Irving from deep. And Desmond Bane pulls it down. And the Grizzlies leading by 4. It's Morant in the corner. And again, it's Memphis with the 3.
I'll tell you, this lead's not going anywhere with this guy making plays. What a quarter.
And Jason Kidd is calling timeout. He's made the decision. He wants to huddle up with this guy. Irving against Morant. Davis, the pass to Irving. Thompson outside. Thompson, a screen on Morant. Out to Thompson. From outside the arc. The Grizzlies pull it in. 3-second difference between shot clock and game.
Obviously, Morant has found his flow here, finding plenty of ways to create for himself.
Irving passes to Thompson. Back to Irving. Thompson sets the pick for Irving. Out to Thompson. Good, and the assist goes to Irving.
Have to love the ball distribution. Keep everyone involved.
Now, here's Morant for three. And so it's Memphis, with their lead standing at 6 points here at the end of the quarter. And hope you've enjoyed the broadcast so far, halfway through the first half in this one. What stands out to you from the Grizzlies in this one?
Well, you come in thinking they're going to settle for perimeter jump shots. Think again.
They've certainly made the commitment to pounding the basketball into the painted area, and boy, is it paying dividends.
Morant is the point, with Bain out on the wing. G.G. Jackson is out there with Jaren Jackson. And it's Edey in at the 5 spot. That's the group for Memphis to kick off the second quarter. And eventually, every player, GA, has to grapple with age, realizing they've lost a step or two against the young fellas. And sometimes that is a very slow realization.
Oh, it is, Kevin. Hopefully, by that point, it's less about financial security and more about prolonging the inevitable, simply for the love of the game.
Time now to turn to our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. David.
Kevin, thanks. Ja Morant was the first NBA guard in a quarter century to lead the league in points in the paint. He says, I can't just rely on dunking every single play, so I need different types of finishes to get my shot off, whether it's high off the glass, the reverse, or hanging in the air forever. And Kevin, he just says it so casually. Back to you.
I know it. But look, David, he doesn't do it casually, right? He is a one-man circus. Now Irving, following the miss by Ja Morant from deep. And that one's good, Irving.
And for his position, Davis, a solid distributor. He's one of the league's most unique players.
However you feel about Kyrie Irving, you cannot deny, Doris, he is an elite player still.
Kevin, there are many who consider Kyrie Irving to be the greatest finishing guard in the history of the game. I mean, left hand, right hand, a little bit of English and polish, big shot maker. And what I love for Kyrie Irving right now is he seems content and happy.
Morant with a wide open look, and they come right back with their own three-pointer.
Well, this guy flat out carrying the load for them offensively. He is taking and making good shots. What a terrific job.
Marshall with it, guarded now by Jackson. Jackson against Davis. Pass to Lively. Outside Irving. Dallas needs to get off a shot. And the rejection by Jackson. Now at the break on the floor, you can see the teams that led the NBA in steals last year. The Grizzlies fourth.
You could tell by watching them how much they enjoy playing defense. They seem to have an endless reserve of energy flying around and pressuring the basketball.
Now here's Morant. Following the miss by Anthony Davis. It's Morant with the drive.
Watching Morant drive is like watching lightning move across the sky. If you blink, you might miss it.
Irving dishes to Thompson. Thompson sets the pick for Irving. Kept alive. Goes back up. Outside for Davis. The screen from Thompson. Davis owning the paint and gets it to go.
And that's a shot Davis will make 10 out of 10 times. He's just so strong inside.
2 minutes remaining in the first half. 2 minutes.
Morant looking around. Makes it off the glass. Morant's got 24 points.
Well, they're leading in large part because of the work he's put in this quarter. This is nicely done.
Thompson with the three.
3 triples for him this quarter, 4 overall.
Here's Morant. Thompson with the rebound.
Something that's kept this game close is the fact that the rebound stats for both teams are almost identical.
Back to Irving. Greg, you love this topic more than anyone when you think about the best ball handlers of all time. Where does Kyrie Irving rank on your list?
Well, you know, I think, Kevin, he's at the very top. I've never seen anyone else pull off some of the things he does. Certainly makes a strong case for the best ever.
Now here's Morant. He's got 24. Here's Heaney, and he goes in for the dunk.
Oh, and he went for the two-hander on the slam using some muscle.
Some urgency from him there, sure. Thompson, a screen on Morant. Irving kicks to Thompson. Again, the miss by the Mavericks.
And they had some botched coverage that turned into no coverage.
And Jackson throws it down hard.
All Jackson Jr. needed was daylight. Defense gave it to him, and he took advantage. And check it out, the stats for Irving. Coming off a terrific season, putting up about 25 points per, 5 assists, and 5 rebounds. Even if you key in on him all game, he still finds a way to get his numbers.
Right, the skill, the awareness, the physical ability, it's all there. And that's what makes this guy so hard to check.
And here's Jackson after the three-pointer from Klay Thompson.
And great job from beyond the arc this quarter. They are now shooting the three at almost 60% for the game.
Thompson, a screen on Morant. Traps in the tray. Irving's got 7 now in this quarter.
Kyrie Irving is capable of going shot for shot.
Morant with it. And there's the call on Klay Thompson. It's his 3rd foul of the game.
Second team foul.
Here's Morant. It's a 3-point game. From past the arc. And again, it's Memphis with the 3.
The wheel come at us, and we're coming right back at you.
And you would expect nothing less from these two, taking pride and making plays.
John Morant has been leading the charge. All right, David, thank you. We'll be back after halftime for the start of the 3rd quarter.
Before we get into that, I want to know, back when you guys played, what was your favorite city to play in?
Well, Shaq.
And let's dig into the first half now. Things looking pretty good for the Grizzlies.
When you look at how they're getting their points.
And that about wraps it.
And we've got second half action for you. Thus far, a pretty evenly contested game. Guys, John Morant has been sensational.
There's something that isn't his strength, but he's done a great job of finding the open man.
Well, what he did was sustain it throughout the first half. He ran the offense to absolute perfection.
So with Davis sitting on the bench, here's the 5 for Jason Kidd right now. Christie is out there with Dante Exum. Then there's Daniel Gafford. Then it's Martin. And it's Washington in at the small forward. Christie the pass to Exum. Christie with the screen on Kennard. Wow, came this close to a 4-point play. He'll head to the line for 3 free throws.
I like that Dante Exum didn't back away from the contact. And there's a physicality he can come with. Look out.
And he makes all 3. And the Grizzlies leading by 5. Now, here's Kennard. Clark outside. Pass to Wells. Back to Clark. 5 to shoot. The shot from the low post is good. Clark's got 4 points now in the quarter.
You got to know this is Clark's skill set at this stage of his career. He takes quality shots when he's inside.
The shot's good from Christie. Second half of basketball, just over a minute played so far. Kennard for three. It's rebounded by Dallas.
And close to making the defense pay for the lax coverage that time. My goodness, he is such a great dunker.
Greg, a high riser, no doubt about it. Here's Clark. And contact on the folks. The coach's challenge has been.
Personal foul. Phase 2. At the line for the Grizzlies.
And I think when it comes to some of the more difficult calls to make, personal fouls can peak tough. The action is so fast that it's really tough to catch everything in real time.
The wonders of technology. We've seen replay reviews so effectively, and involving the coaches by being able now to challenge like this is something a lot of people have been hoping for. And the announcement on the review is that the foul was called in error. So they have determined to overrule the original call.
And guys, this is what it's all about, getting the call right. And I think in this case, the video review showed that while it was a tough call to make on the floor, they got it right with the review.
Well, a careless foul, and here we go with the coach's challenge. Surprise in a competitive game like this, and he's disputing the personal foul call.
Personal fouls can peak tough. The action is so fast that it's really tough to catch everything in real time.
The wonders of technology. We've seen replay reviews so effectively, and involving the coaches by being able to challenge like this is something a lot of people have been hoping for. And the announcement on the review is that the foul was called in error. So they have determined to overrule the original call.
And guys, this is what it's all about, getting the call right. And I think in this case, the video review showed that while it was a tough call to make on the floor, they got it right with the review.
Here's Christie. Got it. Good job in the low post. And it's now only a 1-point Grizzly lead.
Boy, everyone is getting to their spots and then capitalizing. 3 for 4 in the quarter. Beautiful.
There's a screen. Kennard's shot is off.
It's almost as if there's a lid on the hoop for him right now. He still hasn't gotten one to fall in the quarter.
Exum passes to Christie. Up top, Gafford. Shot clock at 6. For the lead. Drops in the layup for 2. Christie's got 8 points in the quarter.
And you gotta love the big bucket in the paint in this sort of a grinded-out game.
Well, Daniel Gafford has carved out Doris a role in this league with his hustle, his intensity, and his rim protection.
All of those things you just mentioned, Kevin, are skills. He plays hard on both ends. Gafford can defend the paint. He's going to crash the glass. He's going to run the floor. Listen, figure out how you can fit and do your job. Well, guys who are known as shooters are always ready on the catch. Luke Kennard, rise and fire.
Here's Exum. No good on the 3. Memphis has gotten off to a very slow start from three-point range in the second half. They're 0 for 4. Kennard for 3. Good on the triple. Now it's a 4-point Grizzly lead.
This is a great option for Luke Kennard. They're going to run him off the three-point line, so you make a pull-up jump shot. That is nicely done.
It's good.
Great quarter for him at the offensive end, trying to will his team back in the game.
And up there for Clark. Gafford with the steal. And it's the Mavericks on the break. And he lays it up and in. Gafford's got the game tied up here for Dallas.
And with the pace of today's game, transition defense is at a premium.
I don't think anyone was catching him on that play. That is unbelievable.
Nice work to get it inside and draw the contact.
For Memphis, they have hit all 4 of their chances so far in this one. That free throw, good from Kennard.
Luke Kennard, a guy known for his shooting ability. The southpaw, capable of stretching the floor and doing major damage from downtown.
And it's a completely new group on the floor for the Mavericks. He gets that one. Irving's got 16.
Well, the touch and the focus. What a pretty move in the lane.
Here's Bane. Still yet to score. Thrown down hard with both hands. Guys, close one here. No team getting a huge advantage.
Yeah, tooth and nail fight so far, guys. These sides match up really well.
And as we finish the third quarter, it's still close. Both teams trading back. And now a sneak peek into the huddle with Coach.
One possession at a time.
And I know I speak for all of us when I say I can't wait to see what kind of finish awaits us here in the fourth quarter. Morant is the point with Bane out on the wing. Jackson is out there with Edey. And it's Jackson in at the 3 spot. That's the lineup out there for the Grizzlies. Memphis has gone past the 3-point line for 13 of their shots. 6 of 13. And there's the call on Klay Thompson. That will get him his 4th foul of the game.
Oh, picked up his 4th foul. Maybe have to scale back his aggressiveness with plenty of time left in this one.
Morant against Thompson. Morant drives. Oh!
And leave it up to Morant to put on a show. What a spectacular dunk.
Morant against Irving. Thompson outside. Irving sets a screen for Thompson. Back to Irving. And he banks in the layup.
What a masterful performance from Kyrie Irving. He's over a decade into his career. He can still take over a game.
Morant outside. It's Bane atop the key. Morant outside. Outside for Jackson. And G.G. Jackson is going to pick up the foul. That's his first foul.
He had played mistake-free basketball until that one. His first turnover of the night.
Dallas has gone 7 of 15 from 3-point range tonight. They're not afraid of that shot. Irving finds Thompson. Back to Irving. On the wing, Thompson. And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Thompson. A little over a minute and a half of the fourth quarter gone now. Morant against Thompson. They set the pick. Out to the wing. Here's Edey. Good, and a nice assist from Morant. Morant's got 5 assists in the game.
And this is the time when you want to lock it down defensively. Thus far, not happening.
It seems to me a lack of effort and a lack of communication, and it's happening to both sides here late in the game.
Go into the rack with energy, and the D afraid to cut him off.
Yeah, gotta chalk that one up.
Oh!
What about that dunk?
That was special, my goodness.
And the agility, the hops, Morant just explodes off the floor.
Irving dishes to Thompson. To tie it up. Irving surveying the floor. 6 on the shot clock. And it's Thompson that time on the assist by Irving. Thompson's got it all tied up now for the Mavs. Morant outside. There's the pick. Here he goes. Edey. And he drops in the layup off the glass. Edey's got 4 points now in the quarter.
This is how you use the pick and roll. Morant looking like a vet with the sweet dime there.
Pass to Lively. 1:49 left in the fourth quarter. Thompson with it. He's picked up by Morant. Irving kicks to Thompson. Back to Irving. Morant with the steal. And here we go. Fast break, and Morant's got it. Gets it to fall. The bucket from Bain. And now a 4-point Grizzly lead.
And made for the bright lights. Big bucket there from Bain.
Thompson up top. Plenty of space. Good, and the assist goes to Irving. Irving's got 5 assists tonight.
Well, big-time moment means big-time guy, and Klay Thompson delivers yet again.
Morant outside. And finished off by Morant.
A huge shot from Morant. Wow, you see why they put the ball in his hands in those situations.
Irving passes to Thompson. Thompson hammers it down.
So much riding on that shot. What a bucket.
I'll tell you, that changes things, doesn't it? Good job, young fella. What a game.
Now Morant. Driving to goal.
A true leader. You can tell Morant takes pride in stepping up when it matters most.
Irving from long range. And Desmond Bain pulls it down. And so it's Bain with it. He'll bring it up for the Grizzlies. Their biggest lead of the game was 9. Count it! And that shot brings them to within just 1.
Big time from Klay. Doesn't get phased when he has the opportunity.
And they commit an intentional foul. This is another one of those so they can get into the penalty. And they go to the intentional foul.
Honestly, just doing what they have to in order to get the basketball back.
So the first one drops, and that will put them up by 2. And the second free throw, no good. A tough break there. And we've got a timeout called by Jason Kidd. The magnitude at this juncture in the game clearly warranting a timeout. And talking about the approach now, what are they looking at?
And they've got plenty of time to get a basket.
Well, they've got to be aggressive, guys, because the defense doesn't want to foul here.
Thompson dishes to Irving. Over in the corner, Marshall. Thompson outside. On its way from Irving for 2. Oh, he couldn't make that shot go to force overtime. So a close game sees Memphis take this one. That was a fun night of basketball and fabulous finish.
To NBA All right, a chance now to take a look at the steals over the last few months for Jaden McDaniels.
I get the feeling he hasn't been paying as much attention defensively as he should be. His steal numbers have dipped in the past few months. He needs to get back some of that intensity on defense.
And a look at Minnesota's opening lineup. Ant is at the 2 with McDaniels playing the 3. Rudy Gobert is out there with Julius Randle. And it's DiVincenzo in at the point. And for the Grizzlies, manning the backcourt, we'll see Morant and Bane. G.G. Jackson is out there with Jaren Jackson. And it's Edey in at the center position.
Everything Morant does is electric. He causes so many problems with his movement.
And Grant, the success of teams like the Timberwolves showing that size still matters.
Yeah, in this pace and space era, that may have come into question just a bit, but size and skill combined has always been your best bet at winning.
Gets the 3 to fall.
Well, you have to be careful with Edwards on the arc because he is completely fearless.
Morant with it. DiVincenzo picks him up, and Jaden McDaniels picks up the foul. That's his first foul.
First team foul.
And about a minute gone in the first quarter. They set the pick. And it's Morant off the drive. And he goes right over Rudy Gobert. Slams it down.
Yeah, Morant's got to get himself in that dunk contest. I mean, look at that.
DiVincenzo to pass to Edwards. DiVincenzo with a screen on Jackson. Edwards. Oh, he packs it down.
That is incredible. Wow, this is how explosive Edwards can be. He finishes with such force at the rim.
Here's Morant. Oh, there's Morant with the slam.
I'll tell you, those finishes are always extra special when they come from your point guard.
Oh, forget about his passing. Can we see more dunking?
Wow, that is an impressive vertical for a point guard. My goodness.
Stolen by Jackson. Edwards against Jackson. Knocks it loose. Ooh, McDaniels with a steal. Outside Edwards. Randle outside. To the right side. Clock at 6. Here's Gobert. Oh, it's blocked by Jackson.
Well, his ability to sniff out these shot blocking opportunities really defines Jackson Jr.'s defensive game.
All right, let's check in with Allie LaForce.
Well, I had a chance to talk with the head coach of the Grizzlies. He knows it'll be tough to score in the paint tonight. Gobert locks down the lane as well as anyone. He blocks shots, and then when you count up the numbers of shots he alters, you get a full picture of his dominance at the defensive end, guys.
Okay, thanks, Allie. Grant, nothing quite like the first game of a brand new season. So many possibilities.
You know, BA, for the players, you're excited and relieved at the same time. You get to see all the hard work you put in during the offseason payoff.
And down it goes. Jam that one home.
And that's why you don't give up on the glass.
Man, his efforts well rewarded right there.
Well, that's what he does. He makes an impact with his activity on the board.
Back-to-back threes, making their defense work on the perimeter a bit.
McDaniels against Morant. And then Morant with the jam!
Oh, putting on a show for the fans. Morant's skills making it look like a circus in here.
There's a screen. DiVincenzo with it. Jackson in his pocket. Left side, DiVincenzo. Edwards against Morant. Here's Randle, and it's going to be a 24-second violation. They turn it over. And so it's Memphis with it, trailing by 2. Morant. It's rebounded by Rudy Gobert. McDaniels from long range. And again, it's Minnesota with a three.
They're getting torched on the perimeter. 4 of the last 5 buckets have been threes.
Moran against McDaniels. On the wing, Bain. Pass to Jackson. Jackson, right side. Jackson finds Jackson. Just 4 to shoot. Memphis needs to get off a shot. It's blocked.
Yeah, nice swat by Randall, using his size and good anticipation to get in the shooter's way.
Here's DiVincenzo. In his last outing, 16 points for him. Pass to Edwards. It's McDaniels on the wing. DiVincenzo on the wing. Outside Edwards. Here's McDaniels. And he takes the feed in stride and slams it home.
Oh, not the defensive effort they need to cut into the lead.
Well, good call. You have to at least try to protect the rim.
Yeah, I'd consider calling timeout right away after that.
Offense is coming free and easy as we wrap up the first. Timberwolves ahead, up by 7. And back in a moment as we'll get underway with quarter number 2. And for those of you just tuning in, second quarter action is where we are. And a moment here to take a look at the scoring breakdown for Minnesota.
Well, the coaching staff's game plan is very clear. Move the ball on the perimeter and shoot the shots with no hesitation.
And from the jump, they've also clearly been focused on running effective plays here tonight. And there's been a lot of high-quality distribution from them on the floor.
Manning the backcourt, we'll see Moran and Bain. Jaren Jackson out there with Jackson. And it's Edey in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. That's the group from Memphis to kick off the second quarter.
Well, we've seen this movie before. Edwards is rolling, and his energy right now is infectious.
Stan, certain NBA teams take on the identity of their home. Like the Grizzlies, for example. They call Memphis Grind City.
Well, Brian, I think it's a perfect fit. Hard-working people in a hard-working city, and they want a hard-working team. Well, when you talk about great two-way players in this league, don't forget about Jaden McDaniels. He's already there defensively, and he's getting there offensively.
Oh, and he got fouled on his way up. He'll head to the line to shoot 2. You know, Coach, when you watch Ja Morant play, it's hard to think of anyone else as explosive as he is.
Yeah, Brian, he can make a defender look like he's standing still. The burst that Morant has with his first step is unrivaled. Probably the best burst in the entire league.
Truly is a human highlight reel in this modern day. Edwards gets the bucket.
They have no answer defensively inside.
Morant looking for an opening. Let's go with a 3. Gets rebounded by Minnesota. They traveled to Memphis last time they faced the Grizzlies. Came away with a win.
They enjoyed a big win in their last meeting, putting their opponent in just terrible foul trouble throughout the game.
Yeah, I don't think you can count on that happening every time, but it's a nice advantage when the calls go that way.
Attacking the rim with power.
Tremendous finish. And then Morant with the dunk.
Well, this kind of performance from Morant doesn't surprise anyone. He can score with the best of them.
Quarter 2 and about 2 minutes in. Here's Edwards. Out to DiVincenzo. Randall, a screen on Morant. 6 to shoot. Back to Edwards. And stolen by Morant. A moment to hear from Allie LaForce.
Grizzlies great Marc Gasol last season retiring from basketball. He embraced the city of Memphis. He said, quote, I think a player has to feel that it's their city and they have to fight for it. You play with a different mindset when you do that. To me, winning was the most important thing.
And they did a lot of winning, Allie. Here's Edwards. Oh, the finish inside by Edwards.
That's 10 straight points they've given up in the painted area.
Grizzlies trail by 8. Outside Morant, the 3 is up. He's got it going on. Now 7 for 10.
And after not making any threes in the first half, he now has 2 here in the second half. Let's see if he continue to add to that.
Outside McDaniels. Down low. Here's Gobert. Got a hand on it. And in the second quarter, a little under 3.5 minutes played already. Edey, that's good.
Well, this offense is so much better when Jackson moves the ball.
The Timberwolves lead by 3. Edwards looking for an opening. Oh, and there's the whistle on the shot. So 2 free throws for him coming up. Grant, when it comes to Anthony Edwards, fair to say he's meeting expectations so far.
Oh, no question, B.A. The first overall pick in the 2020 draft, Edwards has been anything but a bust. Now we are seeing him trying to compete for titles.
Yeah, great effort tonight, and he's been rewarded with trips to the line.
And here they come. Pushing it up now. Randall, the pass to Gobert. Pass to Edwards. Shot clock at 6. Jack's up at 3. The rebound by Edey.
Well, he started out with 3 triples in the first quarter, but he hasn't been able to connect from distance here in the second.
To the middle. McDaniels against Moran. Kicks it out to Jackson. Jackson, pass to Jackson. That one doesn't drop. Good D by Gobert. Minnesota leading by 5. Pass to Randall. Two shots, 2 makes. Off to a good start.
Yeah, and anytime there's contact in there with Randall, he usually gets the best of it. If you can, use up the clock en route to the last shot.
Yeah, but if you get an open look, you got to think about taking it no matter how much time is left on the clock.
From deep, Moran. Unable to get that one. And so it's Minnesota closing out the quarter with a 7-point lead. What has them in front right now, by and large, they're taking great shots. And don't go far. We'll be right back.
The Miami Heat will go up against the Hawks out in Atlanta. It's going to tip off at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And now taking a look at that first half action, it was a less than ideal start for the Memphis Grizzlies. And that's a wrap on.
And we played through the first half. Plenty of basketball left in this one. And you know, Anthony Edwards has been really making it happen, guys.
Through the first 2 quarters, he's been on fire. Explosive offensive performance.
Yeah, and in terms of slowing him down, I think they're going to have to change things up. Give him some different looks.
Kicking off the second half, here's Chris Finch's 5. Nickeil Alexander-Walker out there with Dillingham. Then there's Naz Reid, and it's Clark in at the 3, the small forward.
Well, that's what Reid brings to the table. He's got an impressive combination of strength and mobility.
Kennard outside. The shot misses. Minnesota leading by 9. And it's Clark on the take. Comes up empty down low.
The defense does just enough to alter that shot.
Kennard on the wing. Stan, you've coached some great defensive anchors in your time. Who do you view as the best in the game today?
Well, Brian, you probably have to start with Rudy Gobert, but we've got guys like Brook Lopez, Jaren Jackson, Anthony Davis, and then we've got 2 young ones coming up that could be as good as we've seen in Wemby and Chet Holmgren.
Here's Dillingham. Hasn't gotten one to fall yet. The Timberwolves need to get off a shot here. The shot by Alexander Walker, no good.
That's staying connected to the shooter and timing the contest.
First personal foul. First team foul.
Stolen by Reed. And here we go, the Timberwolves on the run. Pass to Dillingham. And we're just about 2 minutes into the second half now. Played it in with a nice touch off the window. Dillingham's got his first points of the game.
Yeah, their defense is starting to wear down. That's 3 straight buckets at the rim.
Dillingham was the 6th man during his lone college season grant, and he proved to be instant offense.
Oh, he's got elite speed. He's great at creating space, and he's incredibly shifty. You know, he reminds me of Lou Williams in terms of physique and ability.
And now let's glance at the league's most aggressive defensive teams from last year. Number 1, Minnesota.
And their gritty mentality when it came to defense was really infectious. They were the best last year at holding opposing teams to low-scoring totals.
Good on the second one. Recently, player health has been the big talking point around the Memphis Grizzlies stand.
Yeah, B.A., look, and it's really a shame to have such a talented, dynamic team have to deal with all those constant what-ifs and have their seasons so affected by things outside of their control. It's tough.
And it's Kennard on the take.
Shifty work from Kennard on that drive.
Minnesota leading by 10. With the drive. So it'll be 2 free throws. He was fouled in the act of shooting.
I like that. I mean, some physical play inside. He's not about to give up any easy baskets.
Minnesota shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw shots of the night. That's also good, so he hits both free throws. The Grizzlies have gone just 1 of 3 in the second half. Kennard, left side. Chalk up 2 there. Kennard's got his 2nd bucket on the night.
At this kind of range, it might almost be too easy for Kennard.
Outside, Alexander Walker. 1:44 left in the third. 5 on the clock. Minnesota again missing. Grizzlies trail by 10. Here's Wells. Here's Kennard. And he goes up strong with a one-handed jam.
And just a lack of fight right now on the defensive end.
Right? At least on that slam it was. That's one way to let a team back in the game.
Yeah, but also credit the offense there. That's making a play when you really need it, and they need more of that.
Left side Reed. Shoots from the line. Minnesota again missing. The Grizzlies have gone 3 of 5 from the field in this third quarter. Kennard outside. Takes it inside. Here's Clark. Ooh, and he took a hard foul on the shot. So he'll head to the line to shoot a pair. And this will be his 2nd trip to the free throw line. The free throw drops for Clark. And so he hits both. There's 49 seconds left in the third. Outside, Alexander Walker. Puts up a deep 3. Memphis with a rebound.
Well, you can tell he's forcing things a bit at the moment. He's been trying to get it going, but this hasn't been his quarter.
Nice shot by Kennard. Kennard's got 8 here in this quarter.
They're not messing around. 5 of their last 6 buckets have come from the interior.
Cleared away by Wells.
And he just hasn't been able to get it going this period.
Well, the offense has to look for ways to get him easier shots, better selections. You have to be set up for success.
Here's Minot, and it's flushed down. A nice jam.
Well, he can play the 4 because he gets off the ground so well.
Kennard for 3. No good. Would have counted had it gone. The third quarter comes to a close. The T-Wolves on top. They're up by... All right, let's take a look at our assist of the game presented by State Farm.
Yeah, just shredding the defense with that feed. Zero chance to stop it.
Now that is an elite level dish. What a great pass.
We've reached the fourth quarter in what has been a very competitive game. Should be an exciting finish. Manning the backcourt, we'll see Moran and Payne. Jackson out there with Edey, and it's Jackson in at the 3 slot. That's the lineup in the game for Memphis. Jackson against Randall. From the arc. They get it back. Second chance effort. Jackson, the pass to Moran. Three-pointer off the mark. Minnesota leading by 6. To the paint. Strong finish by Gobert.
What a slam by Gobert. He's solid getting positioning inside and using it to his advantage.
Edey. Oh, and that one, no question, powered it down.
Grabs the board and goes right in for the putback. I love it, B.A.
Yeah, wanted to close the gap. Makes sense to get aggressive on the glass here. Outside, DiVincenzo. No good with the triple.
And I'm surprised that didn't go down. I mean, I'm sure he is too.
Jackson uses the glass on the layup. Jackson's got his first bucket in this one.
That's a great pass. Offensively, Bane's the total package.
Jackson against Edwards.
Oh! Wow! Wow! That type of finish is just deflating right now for a team that's trying to make a comeback.
Ouch. That's certainly a big-time finish right there. It was one big exclamation point, or maybe even a question mark.
And it didn't register as an official block, but he did everything you want in disrupting that shot.
Well, you know, sometimes the most pivotal plays don't always go on the stat sheet.
Oh, got a piece of it. Oh, stolen by Moran. In transition, here they come. Moran, look at the speed on the break.
Well, that's a good sign there from Moran. He needs to keep making those shots in order to open this offense up.
Outside Edwards. That shot, no good. Ooh, excellent D there from Jackson. Moran with it. DiVincenzo picks him up. And now we have an intentional foul. I'm not sure why.
Yeah, bizarre play, B.A. Not sure what got into him. I mean, I'm just not sure what he was thinking right there. I mean, he needs to get his head in the game.
Moran against McDaniels.
Well, this is what Gobert is known for. A multiple Defensive Player of the Year award winner who alters so many shots.
Nice shot by DiVincenzo.
It's winning time, and that's a winning play.
Grizzlies trail by 5. Moran, pass to Bane. 1:51 left in the fourth. This one for 3. And another 3 for Memphis.
Well, we talk about icing his veins a lot, but this guy personifies that. What a clutch shot.
Now here's DiVincenzo. Edwards a screen on Moran. The kick out to Edwards. 6 on the shot clock. Oh! Edwards with the highlight reel jam.
Well, you need a bucket? Give it to Edwards. He's got that clutch.
Moran. And it's Memphis with another.
Wanting the ball in these spots is what makes Moran the leader that he is.
Edwards against Jackson. Now Edwards. Oh my goodness!
What a dunk!
Oh, some serious power to finish that one off.
Wow, these are the moments that Edwards lives for. He is dynamite in the club.
Here's Moran. Moran with the slam!
Whoa, that is as clutch as it gets. Big time play.
Yeah, don't you just love to see a player embrace that kind of pressure?
Pass to Gobert. Outside Edwards. Gobert. Yes!
Well, you got to love that Rudy Gobert was ready in a key moment.
And so Morant will bring it up for the Memphis Grizzlies. McDaniels with some nice D.
Nice work defensively to contest that shot right at the rim. Nothing easy.
First team foul.
Oh, stolen by Morant.
Well, that's just great awareness. He was ready and took advantage.
Payne with it. From deep. It's rebounded by Rudy Gobert. So it's a narrow victory for the Timberwolves, pulling it out for the W. And they barely squeezed out the win here on the road.
NBA.
On two. Chance now to take a look at some of the steal numbers over the scope of the last few months for Jaden McDaniels.
I feel like he hasn't been paying as much attention to the defensive aspect of the game as he needs to. His steals have dropped over the past few months, and he needs to get back some of that fire on D.
And the starting lineup for the Timberwolves. Edwards on the wing. He's joined by McDaniels. Gobert is out there with Julius Randle. And it's DiVincenzo in at the 1 spot. And for Dallas, we've got Irving. Anthony Davis is out there with Derek Lively. And it's Thompson. And it's Marshall in at the small forward position. Coaching staffs, Clark, have certainly grown since your time in the league. Do you think that can lead to too many voices in the locker room?
I really don't think that's an issue, Kevin, because no matter how many coaches you have, typically they are all in sync, and the head coach has usually put his staff together, and therefore they're moving in the same direction.
Irving finds Thompson. Irving, a screen on DiVincenzo. It's Thompson off the drive. They get it back. Outside for Davis. Over to the wing. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Dallas needs to get off a shot. The shot by Thompson, no good.
And if they know what's good for them, that's the way they'll defend against him every time he takes the ball on the three-point line.
Outside Edwards. And Lively pulls it down.
You can't look at the result of that shot. They'll take that whenever they get it.
Well, you know, I hear you. That's a good look, but when you're that wide open, I think you got to knock it down.
And once he got to the 10, I think he was surprised to find himself that wide open.
Well, this early, they should be showing a lot more energy on defense. It's not there.
McDaniels passes to Edwards. And there's the call on Klay Thompson. That's his first foul.
I like the call. I thought the defense was just there a little late.
Yeah, it looked like it. I mean, he kind of slid underneath as he got to the spot, too.
And the Mavericks making a change here. Washington's checked in. And the call will be against Derek Lively.
First personal foul.
That's his first foul. Here is Edwards, coming off a stellar performance against Utah. And finished off by Edwards.
Show us what you got, young fella. Anthony Edwards. Love to see you operate like that.
And, Greg, it didn't take long for Anthony Edwards to prove himself in the NBA.
There's so much to like about his game. And as outstanding as his offense is, his defense cannot be overlooked. He is a lockdown presence when he needs to be.
The Timberwolves trail. Outside Edwards. Pass to DiVincenzo. Edwards with the screen for DiVincenzo. Lock at 6. And it is flushed down with a nice jam.
I don't think the defense was ready for DiVincenzo to get assertive like that. Dunking right on top of him there. Ooh, upside your head.
Davis with a screen on DiVincenzo. Thompson looking for an opening. Irving against DiVincenzo. Irving misses. And now Minnesota on the fast break. And we're just over 3.5 minutes into the first quarter. And the basket by Gobert.
It's too easy for him when he's that close. The defense has to put a body on Gobert inside.
Out to Thompson. Pass to Davis. Back to Thompson. Three-pointer. Lively. It's good on the putback.
Just in a perfect position to grab that rebound and then get the putback.
DiVincenzo against Irving. And there's the call on Kyrie Irving. That is his first foul of the game.
Third team foul.
50 seconds left to play here in the first. Here's Randall. Gobert trying to get open. Randall with the bucket. Randall's got his third basket of the night.
Randall's got an unorthodox game, but he's got a good, strong upper body, which makes him a very consistent scorer inside.
Washington kicks to Irving. Thompson against DiVincenzo. Stolen by McDaniels. On the wing, DiVincenzo. 4 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Thompson against Edwards. This one for three. That's in. He's got 2 made now, and he's shooting 2 for 3.
And the story here, Kevin, early on is how well they've shot the basketball.
Very high percentage so far, and if you want to start a game hot, that's the way to do it.
On its way from Irving for 2. No good on the last second attempt there. And so it's Minnesota with a 6-point lead at the end. And for those of you just tuning in, the second quarter of action is where we're at right now. And some stats here, guys. The scoring breakdown for Minnesota.
They've been so aggressive, going strong at the defense, looking to score off of that penetration.
Something else they're doing well tonight, guys, lots of points in the paint. Something to continue to keep our eye on.
And so in the game for the Timberwolves, Edwards on the wing. He's joined by McDaniels. Rudy Gobert is out there with Julius Randle. And it's DiVincenzo in at the point guard position. Right now, I'd send it over to the sidelines and get a report from David Aldridge.
Kevin, thank you very much. The Timberwolves have become a rough and rugged team. Swingman Jaden McDaniels said, "We don't let nobody push us around. We're always being physical defensively. I feel like we're a tough team, super tough." And Kevin, they certainly have the size to hold their own.
Always being physical. But, David, that's their identity. And we thank you for the report. And you see, don't you, Clark, the steady progression year over year for Anthony Edwards.
Well, he's already an all-star since his 3rd season. With Edwards, the chance is there, if he continues to show the same improvement he's shown thus far, that he's going to be MVP caliber, and I dare say, perhaps the face of the league for several years to come.
Randall with a screen for DiVincenzo. Up and in, off to an efficient start. 2 for 3 from the field.
DiVincenzo with the nice touch on the inside shot. Boy, he really knows how to make it work at close range.
They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
Thompson finds Irving. Back to Thompson. Lets the 3 fly. Good! Thompson makes it look so easy.
Well, that's exactly the guy you want to set up. I mean, Klay Thompson feels like every shot he takes is going in.
Pass to DiVincenzo. Edwards with the screen for DiVincenzo. Out to Edwards. And stolen by Kyrie Irving. Out to the right wing. Lively a screen on Randall. Thompson for the triple. Another 3 for Dallas.
Starting to heat up from outside. That's his 3rd for the game. His 2nd in this quarter.
Puts up a 3. The Mavericks pull it in. Lively's got 6 rebounds now in the game. Well, Greg, I'm sure their coach is very pleased with their offensive flow right now.
I mean, it's harder than it looks to get it going like this. Now they just have to maintain it.
Here's Davis. The kick out to Irving. Shot clock at 3. And no good. Had a chance to take the lead there. Minnesota in the lead. And there's the call on Kyrie Irving. That's foul number 2 for him. With the rise of positionless basketball, Clark, this has to be the most difficult era to be a center.
I would not disagree with that, quite honestly. I mean, they're asked to do a lot. I mean, if they're not elite rim runners as centers and shot blockers, they've got to be able to shoot and shoot from the perimeter, not just in the low post. And they still have to be able to finish around the basket. I think the biggest thing is they have to cover more ground defensively because how the game is played offensively with a lot of movement and pick and roll.
And Davis wide open. He shoots on the 3 off target. And so it's Randall bringing it up now for Minnesota. Edwards against Irving. McDaniels a screen on Irving. Here's Edwards. And denied. He sends it right off the glass. Thompson finds Washington. Back to Thompson. 1:14 left in the first half. Thompson on the drive. That gives them the lead. Thompson's got 11 points.
He's starting to find himself out there now. You know, he's taking much better shots here in the second quarter.
DiVincenzo with it. Edwards a screen on Irving. DiVincenzo passes to Edwards. Over Davis. Here's Gobert. The Timberwolves again can't hit.
And they haven't been able to turn it into a big lead, but their rebounding advantage is starting to add up.
Yeah, still close, but with their tough play on the boards, we're certainly seeing the effort.
Thompson from long range. And they'll get another chance. Dallas moving it around. Now, here is Irving. Hasn't made one yet. Tries again. And it's good on the layup. Irving's got the lead up to 3 now for the Mavs.
He does not lack for confidence. He shouldn't. I mean, this guy's a dangerous scorer.
And here's Edwards from the arc. Drains the three-pointer. He's got 9. It's stolen by Edwards. A shot off that time. Klay Thompson has been leading the charge for Dallas. He's been a major threat from three-point range. Got 2 of them to fall. All right, thank you, David. And folks, don't go away. After the break, we'll see you right back here for the start of quarter number 3.
I like what they're doing. Playing with physicality, they've worked hard to gain the edge in areas like rebounding.
Yeah, that's the difference in the game.
And now here's something that's... Thank you for being with us. Now let's send it to Kevin Harlan for the second half tip.
And as we get into this third quarter, as we've seen so far, neither team able to create much separation on the scoreboard yet. Klay Thompson with a strong contribution so far in this one.
And if he can keep shooting from deep like he did in the first half, he's going to be more than a handful.
Yeah, you know what? The defense is going to adjust. They'll be ready for him now, so I'm sure they talked a lot about how to slow him down.
Let's show you the league's most intimidating shot-blocking defenses from last season. 5th, the Timberwolves.
They've got a number of guys that can deny you when you take that ball inside. That's why they're one of the best shot-blocking teams in the league, at least they were last year, because they worked well together and they made it a priority.
We've got Dante Exum. Martin is out there with Daniel Gafford. Then there's Christie, and it's Marshall in at the 3 spot. That's the 5 to begin the second half for Jason Kidd. Yep, that one goes in there. Alexander Walker's got his first bucket of the night.
Just focusing on the task at hand, that's all you can do.
Yeah, these teams trading punches right now. I mean, it's table tennis. Back and forth we go.
Takes a 3. Here's Christie. Rebounded by the Timberwolves.
You know, you don't always get that opportunity, so those are the ones you hate to miss.
And good that time. And it's a 4-point Timberwolves lead.
And that tells the tale here today, guys. Throughout this game, they've been able to get the ball in tight and finish.
And Greg, talk about a guy who can create for himself. Dillingham can already score on elite defender.
Yeah, and Kevin, a lot of that is his footwork. You can see the hours he's put into it. And then add in the body control and quickness. Good luck slowing this young man down.
And Reed throws it down.
That's what you want to see. Reed playing big in there.
And we've got a timeout called by Jason Kidd. And coach has decided they need a moment to talk things over. Now, here's Exum, defended by Alexander Walker. Here's Christie. He has yet to score. Just 4 to shoot. Exum's shot is off.
Yeah, but the defense was determined not to give him an inch of free space.
Alexander Walker passes to Reed. Back to Alexander Walker. There's the triple. Rebounded by Gafford.
Even with that miss, they're shooting 75% coming out of the break. That's a strong start to the half.
Ugh, ugly start to the second half. They've missed their first 4. They've got to get on track.
That's foul. Christie. First personal foul. First team foul.
A little under 2.5 minutes gone by here in the third. Alexander Walker finds Clark. Picked by Clark. Shot clock at 5, and he makes good on the layup. Clark's got the lead up to 8 now for the Timberwolves.
Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They keep getting it in the paint and continue to score consistently. And didn't do anything fancy there, but didn't need to.
Nope, his only concern right now is getting the points on the board. And I don't mean style points.
Hey, I thought there was some style there, guys. What are you guys looking at? I mean, it was still a pretty sweet, flavorful one-hand flush.
Gafford against Reed. They set the screen. No good on the shot. Mavericks have gone only 1 of 5 from the field since halftime. Very slow start offensively. There's always a surprise, isn't there, Clark, in the offseason? Let's go back to 2022. That offseason, the Timberwolves going all in on Rudy Gobert.
Basically, Kevin, they traded 5 firsts plus a bunch of good players for Gobert. It was derided at the time, and I can understand why, but Rudy's defense has taken them to another level, and he's actually been a little better offensively than people thought he would be.
And they've got to talk to each other on D there. Miscommunication, and now he's able to make it back.
Picked by Reed. Here's Alexander Walker. He's defended by Exum. No stopping him there. Jams it in as he's fouled. Chance now for a 3-point play.
First personal foul.
That's on Dante Exum. And Clark, here's a great guy to have in the rotation. Nikhil Alexander Walker.
Loved him in college. Loved his versatility, and I thought it would translate nicely to the NBA. Took him a minute to find his rhythm, but he's got great length, which makes him versatile defensively, and he can play with just about anybody because he's got good all-around offensive skills.
The shooting numbers just aren't there yet in the quarter.
And he gets the bucket. Alexander Walker's got 7.
Seems like he can't miss right now, guys. I mean, completely in the zone this quarter.
Christie kicks to Martin. No good from outside.
Just enough coverage to bother that three-point attempt.
The Timberwolves have gone 2 for 2 in the game at the line. On the free throw, no good. And the Mavericks will go for a different look here. Derek Lively, he's checked in for Daniel Gafford. Davis comes in for Caleb Martin. Klay Thompson, he's checked in for Dante Exum. And Kyrie Irving subbed in for Christie. DiVincenzo gets the bucket.
Yeah, they're going to have a nice little run here.
Mavericks trail by 10. 7-second difference, shot and game clock. Irving kicks to Thompson. And that time, also a missed shot. And so Edwards will bring it up for the Timberwolves. Since halftime, they've only allowed 5 points. Tries it from the top of the key, and he sinks that one, hitting the back of the rim on the way in. 11 points in the game.
Coming off a big game, his confidence couldn't be higher, and coach knows it.
Showing no signs of slowing or cooling down. They're going to ride him as far as he can take him.
And so it's the Minnesota Timberwolves up by a... While we have the chance now, folks, let's go to our State Farm assist of the game.
And he may not be known as a pass-first guy playing out of the two-guard spot, but he shows here that he can dole out an assist or two when he needs to.
That's right. I mean, that's not his primary duty, but when the situation calls for it, he can do it and does it well.
And with the fourth quarter upon us, time is running out for this game to become competitive. And a look at the 5 for the Timberwolves to start the fourth. Edwards on the wing. He's joined by McDaniels. Rudy Gobert is out there with Julius Randle. And it's DiVincenzo in at the 1.
Arguably the smoothest jumper in the game. Klay Thompson.
Timberwolves leading by 9. Now DiVincenzo. Pass to Edwards. There's the 3. Thompson with the rebound. Dallas shooting 39% from the floor. At their best. Davis. Minnesota with the rebound.
The defense ready for him on that possession. They had to be because he is so strong in the paint.
Edwards passes to Gobert. Nice move. That's in. Coming off an assist from Randle.
With his size, Gobert can make this look really easy. It's almost unfair.
A few possessions into the fourth quarter, just over a minute played. And here's Washington outside. And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Lively. The Timberwolves shooting fantastically in this game, 62% from the floor. Out to Edwards. Pass to Randle. McDaniels with the ball. Edwards with the screen for McDaniels. 4 on the clock. Gobert dishes to McDaniels. Good on the three-point shot. McDaniels got the lead up to 14 now for the Timberwolves.
Right there, Daniels is saying, you got to come get me if you want to stop me.
A shot by Thompson, and no one's around. Dallas, no good that time either. And they blow the whistle for a foul. He was trying to disrupt the fast break opportunity.
You know, when Rudy Gobert is down low, it strikes fear into the opponent. This is a guy who has led the league in blocks and rebounds at different times. Inside the paint, he is just a nightmare to battle against.
Here's Randle. It's rebounded by Dallas. Thompson outside. Pass to Irving. Thompson, a screen on DiVincenzo. Here's Irving. And a missed lay.
Well, he's much better than that. Really no excuse for missing that lay-in.
Randle passes to McDaniels. Now Edwards. And he finishes nicely on the layup.
Boy, you love to see Edwards shine on offense like this. I know it's got to be making his coach happy, too.
Thompson, a screen on McDaniel. Irving attacking. Thompson for 3. Good, and the assist goes to Irving. Irving's got 4 assists now tonight.
Great assist that time by Kyrie Irving.
Randle kicks to McDaniel. Back to Randle.
2 minutes.
The Timberwolves working the ball around now. 1:52 left in the fourth quarter. A nice shot by McDaniel. McDaniel's got 5 points now this quarter.
Nice looking teardrop by the swing man McDaniels. Love watching his offense continue to evolve and grow.
And there's the foul on the shot. He'll go to the line for 2. Greg, we see the NBA fining players for certain actions or statements.
Multiple offenders are always going to be under the microscope, Kevin. Sometimes they end up playing into those expectations, so those punishments can appear a bit skewed.
And there's the call on Kyrie Irving. That's his third foul of the game.
Second team foul.
A bit under 3.5 minutes have passed here in the fourth. And here is DiVincenzo. Irving knocks it away.
Excellent anticipation from Kyrie. That time on the block.
And tonight's battle is going to end with a very clear winner, leaving nothing to chance. Impressive win for the Timberwolves.
The biggest factor tonight had to be their great shooting. They shot much better than the other team.
Yeah, they were working hard on both sides of the floor, but that sky-high field goal percentage plus the pressure defense to force the other team into a lot of misses. Love the effort tonight.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year.
And in the season finale between these two teams, they seal the deal, making smart adjustments along the way to finish out the year with an impressive 3-1 record against Dallas.
And guys, one of the steady and outstanding players putting in another impressive performance, it was a big-time outing for Anthony Edwards.
Every inch of the floor was his tonight as he came out and injected an energy into every play.
No one near Edwards as he lets it fly. Off target from outside. Irving drives in to the inside. Davis. Oh, he blocked it and deflects off the backboard. And the wide open shot from DiVincenzo. Offline with his 3. So it's Minnesota winning this one easily. This crowd was stunned by the manner in which they're... David, thank you as always. And that about wraps it up. For Clark Kellogg, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for watching.
to it. NBA. All right, a quick look now at how the point totals have looked over the last few months for Ja Morant.
And he's been on a roll during these last few months, getting better in terms of scoring the ball and proving to be a key part of this team as we move farther along in the season.
And here's Memphis's starting group. Manning the backcourt, we'll see Morant and Payne. Jackson out there with Edey, and it's Jackson in at the 3, the small forward. And for the Mavericks, we've got Davis, Kyrie Irving out there with Klay Thompson. Then there's Najee Marshall, and it's Lively in at the 5. And the Grizzlies with possession here. The Mavs get... Oh!
Nice finish.
Man, big time right there.
And man, does Morant put on a show. He's got such insane athleticism.
And you think about the fearlessness of Ja Morant and how he attacks, even as a smaller player. RJ, you got any comparisons?
I would say AI. But AI was more of a 2-guard, even though he was a couple inches shorter. But definitely similarities of how they attack the paint with fearlessness.
Gafford, he's checked in for Lively.
You just can't let Klay find any looks anywhere from the three-point line. He makes quick work from the coffin corner.
And it's Ja Morant with the foul. That's his first foul.
I love great defense. Just quick to establish his feet, and he takes the hit.
Irving against Morant. Irving, the pass to Thompson. And the foul on Jaren Jackson. That's his first foul.
First personal foul. First team foul.
And now just over a minute played here in the first. Outside for Davis. Three-pointer off the mark.
And he might have thrown himself off when he saw how much space he had from 3.
And from the sideline, let's catch up with Allie.
Well, Jason Kidd had a few moments to share with me, and we discussed his plan for Ja Morant. Coach smiled and said, I just told my guys to stay ready out there, ready for anything, because Morant can do so many surprising things. We just have to stay on our toes. Hopefully that flexible mindset helps the defense keep up with Morant's antics out there. BA.
Thanks for that, Allie.
Consistency from deep is going to be the biggest determining factor in Morant's ceiling. If he gets that, I think we're going to see some MVPs in his future.
The 3 from Thompson sinks it from distance. Thompson's got his second basket on the night.
Man, this is just fun. These teams are trading threes back and forth.
This is today's NBA. Hey, we see this kind of exchange more often than not.
The Mavericks have gone 3 of 6 from the floor. So many things to love about opening day. What's tops on your list, RJ?
A lot of things, really. But, man, the energy in the building. This house is rocking. These fans are so pumped up and optimistic about their team right now.
He didn't make them pay for that weak defense, but they just can't rely on him to miss those kind of shots.
Jackson can't get it to go. The Mavericks leading. Irving looking around. Fires from deep. Nails it from 3. Irving's got 5 points.
Look, he is a 50-40-90 guy, right around 40% from the three-point line. Kyrie deserves more respect for his deep game.
Morant with it, and Davis picks him up defensively. Here's Edey. Jackson outside. Outside for Morant. Just 5 on the clock. Launches it from deep. Gafford grabs the miss. Dallas leading by 4. And when it comes to the Grizzlies, they're a team that's hungry to take that next step, Ray.
Yeah, and they've got the core to do it, BA. We got Morant, Bane, and Jackson. They're all all-star caliber players and still in their mid-20s. So they've got a lot of great chemistry and time to get it right.
And it's good. 2 points. And we're just over 3.5 minutes into this first quarter. Outside Morant, pass to Jackson. And miss after miss right now.
Just terrible defense. I don't know how he missed that shot.
Thompson with it, guarded by Morant. And the 3 off target.
And you never want to give a shooter like him a clean look.
Shot is up. The offensive rebound. Here's Edey. No good with a layup. Dallas has gone 3 of 7 from beyond the arc in the first. Outside Davis. Here's Marshall. No good from outside. End of quarter management here. They can go 2 for 1.
Make the math work in your favor.
This is what Morant does so well. No one can stay in front of him.
Morant against Irving. There's the drive. And the layup is good. He's got 9.
Love how selfless he is setting brick screens like this. Plays like that right there are what help create easy scoring opportunities.
Pass to Edey. 2 seconds separating the shot clock and the game clock. Morant against Thompson. Morant with the slam!
It's just so much fun to watch Ja fly. The way this man can take off is so impressive.
Thompson, a screen on Morant. Irving, the pass to Thompson. Lets it go from deep. Kyrie Irving has been on display for Dallas. Hunting for opportunities. Lead. And for those of you just tuning in, second quarter action is where we are. And some stats here, guys. The scoring breakdown for the Mavericks.
Well, so far, their long-range shooting has been the story, doing damage from deep.
Now, also, you got to appreciate how unselfish they've been. I mean, the ball movement has been impressive, and the assist numbers are off the chart.
Kyrie Irving out there with Thompson. Then there's Najee Marshall. Then it's Anthony Davis. And it's Gafford in at the 5, roaming the paint. That's the lineup in the game for Dallas. Irving, the pass to Marshall. Thompson, a screen on Jackson. Oh, and he got fouled on his way up. He'll head to the line to shoot 2. Richard, we know how decorated AD was early on in his career. What can we expect from him moving forward?
Oh, he was getting Defensive Player of the Year and MVP votes back then. If he can get back to that level, he's going to be an absolute focal point for a long time coming.
Up top, Morant, defended by Thompson. Back to Morant. Jacks up a 3. Oh, Morant sinks the triple.
And this is what John Morant does best. When he finds his rhythm on offense, he is almost impossible to guard.
Irving, pass to Thompson. Back to Irving. Thompson, a screen on Morant. Out to Thompson. 6 on the shot clock. Here's Irving. Shot is off. 4 for 7 in the game now. And so it's Morant who brings up the ball for Memphis. They trail by 1. And there's the foul. It'll go on Kyrie Irving. That's his first foul. Here's Morant. 14 points for him. A minute and a half gone in the second quarter. Down to 5 on the shot clock. They get it back. And that one is hammered home.
And their offensive rebounding is such a strength for them when he's on the floor.
Yeah, he really helps them extend possessions, doesn't he?
Yeah, you can feel Coach slide along the sidelines with every offensive board.
Jackson on the wing. 4-3. Drops in the 3. And now it's a 4-point Grizzly lead.
And you know, in this quarter, they've really brought up their shooting percentage.
Thompson, a screen on Morant. The drive by Irving. Good. 5 5 for 9 shooting so far.
The quick feed of Kyrie Irving carving his way through the defense, man. This guy, he can get anywhere at any time.
Here's Morant. Mavericks with the rebound. They just couldn't come out on top last time they took on the Grizzlies. That one was in Memphis.
This time around, they're looking for better execution offensively. They have to avoid mistakes.
If they can clean up the turnovers and make better decisions, it should be a much closer game this time around. He just looks off this quarter. Looks like he's forcing it a bit right now, a little bit in his head.
Oh, got a piece of it. The Mavericks have gotten only 1 of 4 shots to go in. Pass to Davis. Out to Thompson from the arc. Oh, and Clay makes that 3 look so easy.
Because of his footwork and fundamentals, Thompson always looks on balance and does a great job of squaring his shoulder.
And it's Morant off. Oh, John Morant, my goodness. And the lead just keeps changing hands.
5 times already, and we still haven't gotten out of the first half.
Pass to Marshall. The 3 is up. The Mavericks rebound. Outside for Irving. Here's Marshall. No made baskets yet. Irving, the pass to Marshall. Shoots over Jackson. Hits the target from 18 feet.
Now put your head down and go to work. That's what they need to do.
Yeah, when the game is up for grabs like this one has been, it's all about the attention to detail.
Here's Morant. Rebounded by Marshall.
Why? Just why? Come on, man. Save that one for practice.
Thompson outside. Here's the 3. The rebound by Jackson.
And even though he hasn't been himself, it hasn't affected his team too much. They've still got the lead.
From deep, Morant. And it's Morant again missing. Dallas has gone 1 of 4 from three-point land here in the second. Irving with a deep 3. Pure from three-point range. Now it's a 4-point Dallas lead.
And his ability to efficiently score, that's really helped him out in this one, putting them ahead on the scoreboard.
1 second separating the shot clock and the game clock. Gafford grabs the miss. Pass to Marshall. Thompson outside. And we're through the first half of play here in what's been a good one. Dallas on top, up 4. And we'll see you back here after the break. Third quarter action in just a bit.
I only have 2 words for you. Elbow, famage. Establish yourself inside, good things will happen. That's right, Ernie.
All right, fellas. Thanks for tuning in.
We've got second half action for you, and if the next couple of quarters are similar to the first, this one could go down to the last possession. Oh, a fantastic game from Ja Morant in this one.
Yeah, tonight, he's done a great job of slashing through the lane and finishing.
And you love that mindset he has going at the rim. He hasn't settled for anything, and he's been the aggressor all game long.
On the court for Memphis, we've got Luke Kennard, and it's Stevens in at the 3 spot. Christie passes to Lively. Exum outside. From deep. Grizzlies with the rebound. Kennard outside. And the league has cut down on back-to-backs, but some pushback for a surprising reason. Richard, teams need multiple days off in order to practice.
Yeah, that's right. With only 1 day off between games, teams don't usually practice on those off days. It's not as simple as it looks.
Pass to Christie. Martin outside. 3-pointer. Buries it from 3.
When he gets a quality look like this at the perimeter, he can almost be automatic.
Kennard outside. Clark with the screen. Kennard can't get it to go.
Stumbling to start the second half. 3 straight misses.
Martin, the pass to Washington. Stolen by Kennard. Pass to Huff. Back to Kennard. Takes it inside. And down it goes. 2 points. Kennard's gotten his first basket of the night.
Got that one to go. Okay, now 1 for 4 to start the second half.
Here's Christie. 3-pointer, no good. Grizzlies trail by 5. And he's going for the lob. Oh, Clark with the slam.
Beautiful setup on the alley-oop.
Great catch, great flush. From downtown, Stevens with a rebound.
Since halftime, they've missed 3 of their first 4 shots. Still trying to get their legs under.
And he hits it and gets hacked. A 3-point chance here if he can convert.
Defensively, they've got to get more bodies in the paint. That's 3 straight field goals from below the free throw line.
Memphis shooting their first free throw of the night. Here's Exum. A touch over 2.5 minutes of basketball played here in the third quarter. No good with the triple. Memphis has got nothing to fall from outside in this third quarter. Pass to Christie. Washington with the ball. From behind the arc.
2 minutes remaining in the third.
Takes the 3. Knocks down the triple. Washington's got his first 3 points of the game.
The assist numbers certainly stand out. They've really emphasized ball movement here today.
They set the screen. Knocked loose. Exum outside. Pass to Christie. The 3 is up. Another 3 for Dallas.
This is what it's been since halftime. Remarkable results from downtown.
In the modern NBA, you have to hit threes to win games, and they've made that adjustment since the break.
Okay, let's fire up the 2K leaderboard. Last year, you really had to protect the ball against these teams. The 4th spot held by the Grizzlies.
And this is a team that takes great pride in being aggressive on the defensive end. They take good risk and know when to go after opportunities for steals.
Kennard outside. Launches a 3. Ooh, the Grizzlies with another miss.
This has been a tough quarter for them and a challenging game for this team.
Exum outside. Pass to Christie. Now here's Lively. Clock at 6. It's Martin on the wing. Here's Exum. Off target. That would have pushed the lead to double digits. Grizzlies trail by 7. Here's Huff. Lively grabs the miss. 34 seconds left in the third. Here's Martin. And a miss there on the triple. The Grizzlies have gotten just 3 of 8 shots to go in the third quarter. Wells, that's good.
They found strong offensive footing in the open court.
And they need to use that momentum, clawing their way back via fast break points.
Christie passes it to Washington. Here's Christie, defended by Kennard. Dallas. No good that time either. Here's Wells. Oh, it's good!
At the buzzer, that is how you finish it.
Make no mistake.
And we've just finished the third quarter. What a tight game we've got going. Dallas on top, up 1. And right after this, we'll bring you the start of the final quarter right here on 2K Sports. And a moment now as we take a look at our State Farm assist of the game.
This is the definition of team chemistry. I love to see this kind of communication and connection between teammates leading to the perfect pass.
Serving it up on a platter, that is a beautiful dish. And 2 teammates on the same page. Woo.
We've reached the fourth quarter in what has been a very competitive game. Should be an exciting finish. Washington and Lively down low. Then there's Dante Exum. Then there's Caleb Martin. And it's Christie in at the 1 spot. That's the lineup out there for the Mavericks. Morant looking for an opening. Ja steps on the gas. And then Morant with the dunk.
This is what you pay to see. Morant doing what he does, exploding right to the rim off the drive.
Wow. Irving, that's good. Tremendous momentum building toward those final possessions.
Yeah, with 8 lead changes so far, it feels like this is going to come down to the last shot.
Here's Morant. It's kept alive.
And when the game is this close, you have to go all out.
He certainly understands his role, huh? When the shot goes up, just crashes the offensive glass.
He's just giving them everything he has. It's what his teammates appreciate and enjoy playing with him.
You gotta love how they've been crashing the boards, fighting hard for every miss.
Memphis the rebound. Good.
Jackson.
And the Grizzlies lead by 2.
Their interior D continues to look shaky. Not a good matchup for them right now.
Irving for 3. Lively finds Thompson. The 3. The rebound by Edey. Edey's got 7 rebounds in the game. Pass to Bane. The 3. Hits the 3-pointer. And it's a 5-point Grizzly lead.
This isn't Bane's preferred spot on the arc, but he's got the skill to knock it down.
Morant with it. Irving picks him up. And here comes the break. And it's blocked by Davis. And that's out of bounds. Memphis will retain possession. Outside Morant. A deep 3.
And he got a couple to fall from long distance in the first half, but still looking for that number 3.
Pass to Davis. Outside Irving. A little over 2.5 minutes have passed here in the fourth. Back to Thompson to halt the run. And good. Coming on the assist by Irving.
When it counts, you want to get the ball to Klay Thompson where he can do something special with it.
And it's Morant off the drive. And the rebound goes to Dallas. Lively's got his 4th rebound in this one.
2 minutes remaining in the game. 2 minutes.
Thompson passes to Marshall. Thompson, a screen on Jackson. Out to Thompson. Takes a 3. Memphis with a rebound. Jackson's got 5 rebounds tonight. To the middle. Here's Edey. Nice pass, nice catch, and a resounding dunk.
Sometimes Morant just makes this look effortless. He's such a gifted passer.
Thompson outside. He's got a clear path. And the finish on the break with the slam.
That couldn't have gone better for them. Forget about playing it safe. They're looking to finish it off with style.
That is not the shot they needed there. You gotta work it around and get a better look.
Now Morant. 1:06 left to play in the fourth. Morant taking no chances on the flush.
And if you're wondering what makes Ja so special, it's his ability to take over games all by himself.
Irving goes in. Pass to Marshall. Irving against Morant. Irving, pass to Marshall. Offensive rebound. And here's Lively. Lively with a screen on Bane. 2-on-1 as they jump out on the break.
This is what winning is all about. Playing your best when it matters most.
And let me tell you, as a team, you love to hit your stride right at the crucial moments. They put this game away in style.
Shot clock and game clock separated by less than 6 seconds. They grab their own miss. Thompson outside. Irving with a deep three. Yes, and a nice assist from Thompson.
The team-first mentality of Thompson. When someone on his squad is open, he finds them.
And here's Morant outside. No good there. And so the Grizzlies take the win.
That's the end of the game.
This was a hard-fought, well-earned victory for them. They had to...
now to take a look at some of the steal numbers over the scope of the last few months for Jaden McDaniels.
I feel like he hasn't been paying as much attention to the defensive aspect of the game as he needs to. His steals have dropped over the past few months, and he needs to get back some of that fire on D.
Look at the opening lineup for the Memphis Grizzlies. Morant is the point with Bane out on the wing. Jackson is out there with G.G. Jackson. And it's Edey in at the 5 down low. And for the Timberwolves, Edwards on the wing. He's joined by McDaniel. Julius Randle is out there with Rudy Gobert. And it's DiVincenzo in at the 1. So the Memphis Grizzlies able to put the first points up on the board. Edwards drives in. And Edwards slams it in.
You better get out of the way. So much power from Anthony Edwards on that drive. Look out.
You hear, Doris, people now calling Anthony Edwards one of the faces of the NBA. I'm assuming you'd agree.
100% agree, because the skills are extraordinary. The development in his decision-making has gone leaps and bounds from where it was. Beyond that, Kevin, he's a lockdown defender, one of the best competitors, fearless in the big moments, and one of the most charismatic young men in the league today. This guy is spectacular.
Edwards, that's good.
This guy is constantly refining his game, and Anthony Edwards is dangerous from 3.
Pass to Edey. And it's Jaden McDaniels with the foul. That is his first foul of the game.
First team foul.
And in the first, a little over a minute and a half in. 7-foot shot outside for Jackson. Just 5 to shoot. Memphis needs to get off a shot here. And the 3 off target.
And you could tell he thought that triple was going to fall.
Here's Gobert. And slam dunk by Gobert.
All too easy for Mr. Gobert in the painted area. Nicely done.
Memphis has gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. Julius Randle with the rebound.
Oh, an easy look, but he decides to be a crowd pleaser. I'm sure he's upset for attempting that one.
Jackson finds Bane. Launches a 3. And another miss by Memphis. Timberwolves have gone 3 of 4 from the field to start out the game. Here's McDaniels, and he drops in the layup off the glass.
Yeah, Jaden McDaniels with a very good sense for when he should look to score it, especially in the painted area.
And so Morant will bring it up for the Grizzlies, trailing by 4. They set the screen, and Morant throws it down.
And credit the screen for giving him the space he needed to get to the rim.
For sure, GA allows him to come in with the sledgehammer.
Boy, that's a play you just practice time and time again, and that's the result of the work put in.
So it's the Timberwolves now. Grizzlies making the shot. Edwards dishes to McDaniels. Back to Edwards. He trains it as the shot clock ticks down. Edwards got 7 points. How important, Greg, is it to a team's confidence to start the season strong?
Kevin, I think it means more if you're a young team. If your roster is filled with veterans, you're looking at the bigger picture.
Edey, there's Jackson with the 3. Gobert pulls it in. Timberwolves leading by 4. Here's Randle. And it's rebounded by Morant. And for Memphis, they're shooting 33% here in the first quarter. Bane, no good. The Timberwolves have gone 5 of 7 today so far. Nice shooting to get this game underway. Outside for Randle. Stolen by Jackson. Morant left side. 46 seconds left in the first. The Grizzlies with another miss.
Well, he's a quality mid-range shooter, but he can't get that one to go.
DiVincenzo passes to Randle, and that's out of bounds. Minnesota will retain possession.
Active hands from him as he's able to deflect that pass out of bounds.
Well, that's what you call a game of inches. They talk about it in football. We see it right there. Anthony Edwards showing you, yes, I am a vertical threat at the rim.
McDaniels against Morant. Driving.
And leave it up to Morant to put on a show. What a spectacular dunk.
Bain against Edwards. Gobert with a screen for Edwards. That's to Gobert. Tries again. Now here's McDaniels. DiVincenzo with the screen on Jackson. McDaniels gets a wide open look. Anthony Edwards has been leading the charge for Minnesota. He finishes with 9. And thanks again for tuning in. If you're just joining us, we've played through 1/4 of action so far. And let's get your take, guys, on the scoring breakdown for the Timberwolves.
And they've set the tone from the jump. They're looking to pound it inside and score in the paint.
Yeah, what an excellent display of passing in the early stages of this game. A good deal of their points coming directly off quality passes.
On the floor to begin things for Memphis here in the second quarter. Morant is the point with Bain out on the wing. Edey out there with Jackson, and it's Jackson in at the small forward. Greg, this is some kind of note. Last year, Minnesota, for just the second time, had ever won a series in the postseason.
Yeah, they've been bounced in the first round, 10 of 12 appearances. But last year's team was different. Their elite defense fueled the conference finals run.
And with an update from the sidelines, let's check in with David Aldridge.
Kevin, Rudy Gobert has tied for the most Defensive Player of the Year awards all time, but he's challenging himself to do more offensively. He said it's all about just being okay with missing or making mistakes, freeing my mind and doing the things that I work on to get out of the shell that I was being put in. Kevin, back to you.
All right, David Aldridge, we thank you for that report. Here's Morant after the basket by Minnesota. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. It's going to be and it looks like, yep, it's a coach's challenge on the board.
2 shots. John Morant. The play is under video review.
Where the officials can review in closer detail what constituted the original personal foul. Getting a different angle can sometimes make it a lot easier to determine.
Indeed, and the one thing with replay review is that when you see the slow motion replays, you really get a new appreciation for just the immense speed at which these players are moving and how fast the action really is and how hard it can be sometimes, you know, Greg, to make the right call. And so the word is in. They've decided that the call stands as it was made on the floor.
And, you know, even if a coach still feels this wasn't the right call, you got to acknowledge the effort being put in to reviewing it. The double checking, and the game continues on.
It's an odd stat, but what I'm going to throw out there anyway, the Memphis Grizzlies set an NBA record last season for players used in a season.
Kevin, this isn't football, right? They had 33 different guys suited up last season. That tells you how difficult it was. Constant change, hard to build chemistry, and let's face it, hard to win games.
More good work on the glass there. When it's all said and done, I think rebounding might tell the story in this game.
Wow, excellent explosion off his feet by Julius Randle.
Outside for Jackson. Hits the three-point bomb.
What a beautiful stroke from range. Defensively, you've got to try to take him out of his comfort zone.
Randle surveying the D to the wing right side. Gobert finds Randle. And right away, they match it with a three-pointer of their own. Randle's got the lead up to 7 now for the Timberwolves. Quarter 2 and just under 2.5 minutes gone by. And it's Morant missing.
Not a lot falling for him in this quarter. He's got to stay aggressive, try to break through, see if you can get an easy opportunity.
Edwards against Jackson. Morant with the steal. Fast break Memphis. Jackson has the open look. Second shot opportunity. Six to shoot. Pass to Edey. There's the triple. Rudy Gobert with the rebound. Gobert's got 9 rebounds now tonight. And here's Edwards from the arc. The Grizzlies pull it in. There's Jackson with the 3. And the officials call over the back. A little too aggressive there.
I'm not sure what he thought he could get away with there. Pretty clear over the back.
Yeah, easy call for the officials. Sometimes I think you can reach over without making contact, but that was not one of those times.
DiVincenzo kicks to Edwards. McDaniels, a screen on Bain. Edwards, no good. The Grizzlies trail by 7. Morant scanning the floor. Driving the lane, and then jammed down as he goes right over Rudy Gobert.
Watching Morant drive is like watching lightning move across the sky. If you blink, you might miss it.
Well, this guy has been efficient and effective all night. That IQ has been on display.
Here's Morant. Anthony Edwards making his last shot. Morant drives in. Here's Edey. And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact.
Really out of the right place defensively. If you can't block, force them to the line.
The Grizzlies shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw shots of the night. And he makes the first. He's perfect from the line this time.
Yeah, in this quarter, they've had the right approach. Driving and drawing, initiating contact, create opportunities, get to the line.
Now, here's DiVincenzo. Still yet to score. Good in the shot. And the Timberwolves lead by 7.
Boy, that's beautiful touch on the floater. And let's remember, not everyone has that shot in their arsenal.
Morant reaches to Jackson. Fires the 3. Offensive rebound. And the ball's tied up, so we'll have a jump ball.
It'll be a jump ball.
I'd love to see them impose themselves a little more on the backboard. That's a great way to find confidence. Always a surefire way to get back in the game.
Here's Randall. Rebounded by Jackson.
Well, we didn't see the same kind of control we're used to seeing from him. This guy is usually a tremendous finisher.
Count that one in, and the Timberwolves lead is cut down now to just 4 in the basket from Jackson.
Just such a well-rounded offensive player. He's got a little bit of everything.
And that's it for the first half of action. What's been a very close game here. The Timberwolves on top, up by 4. And we'll be back for the second half following the break. Keep it right here on 2K Sports.
Limiting turnovers has helped. Give their ball handlers props. They've been smart with the decision making.
They're certainly running the offense well. And during that first half, and that concludes.
Second half of basketball upon us. We may be in for an exciting finish based on how close of a game that's been so far. Guys, Ja Morant has been sensational.
Man, he's been running wild on them through that first half. Absolute dynamite on offense.
Boy, he has been shouldering the load. Aggressive, skilled, talented, and thus far unstoppable.
They've got Reed, Nickeil Alexander-Walker out there with Dillingham. And it's Clark in at the 3 slot. So that's the lineup for Minnesota. Greg, you know this. Good coaches give their players confidence. But what's the balance there between affirmation and accountability?
Well, when you believe in a player, that also comes with expectations. So a coach has to boost them up and also demand that they deliver. Terrific play call to give him a clean look at the rim. That's how you want to start the second half.
Well, there is nothing better than catching a rhythm as early as possible. And boy, that's a terrific start right there.
Let's check in with our reporter, David Aldridge.
Kevin, the Grizzlies retired Marc Gasol's number 33 last season. You may recall he moved to Memphis in his teens, watching his older brother Powell play for the Grizz. Marc said, "I had a very unique perspective, that of a fan. When I came back as a Grizzlies player, I carried that with me." Kevin, that pride certainly showed.
Pride's a great word to use. No question, D.A. Thank you. Timberwolves leading by 5. Poked away. Rel's wide open. A three-pointer off the mark. Minnesota's gone 3 of 7 tonight from three-point territory. You know, Greg, when you look at the Timberwolves' history, the first round had been a problem for them. But not last year, as they swept the Phoenix Suns.
And you gotta look at it as being a tremendous success, right? Because going into the season, I don't know that anyone thought they would have made it to the conference finals. But boy, that young group gelled well together, and the sky's the limit for the future.
So it's Minnesota now, following the score by Memphis. Here's Alexander Walker. He's got 5. That one drops for him. Alexander Walker's got the lead up to 7 now for Minnesota.
Great play calling, great execution, leads to 4 for 4 to start this half.
Wells passes to Stevens. Here's Kennard. And the layup falls. Kennard's got 8 points.
And they're showing much more focus here in the second half. More effort as well. And their offense starting to show signs of life.
Here's Alexander Walker. 7 points in the game. And so it's going to be a 3-second violation out there on the defense. The Timberwolves shooting just their second attempt at the line tonight.
And at the line last season, about 78% as a team. Pretty solid numbers.
And no good on the technicals, so unable to pick that one up. Here's Dillingham. Hasn't made one yet. Pass to Reed. 6 on the shot clock. 1:56 left here in the third quarter. Misses in close. Here's Wells. Drains it from beyond the arc. And now just a 2-point Timberwolves lead.
And after an abysmal first half from the field, the shots now starting to fall.
So it's Minnesota now. Clark, the pass to Alexander Walker. Here's Dillingham. Kennard covering. Dillingham with the bucket. Dillingham's got his first points of the night.
Important points there. Got him on a nice play, getting the ball inside and right to the bucket.
Clark sets a screen for Kennard. 1:12 left to play here in the third. Stolen. Here's the drive. Dillingham with the bucket.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Now here's Wells, defended by Alexander Walker. 46 seconds left to play in the third. Now here's Reed. Defense right on him. Oh, and he plucks it off the glass. Wow. The deep 3 from Kennard. Rebound by Alexander Walker. Minnesota leading by 6. A second chance effort. Here's Minot. Back to Clark from outside the arc. Connects from three-point range.
Well, deliver the pass where your teammate can do something with it. Nice.
Now, here's Kennard. Up in time. And he was able to put it up in time, but doesn't fall. And so it's Minnesota in control with the 9. How about a look at today's State Farm assist of the game?
It's just true artistry right there. I mean, great decision on where to go with the ball and the perfect delivery.
We call that putting it right in the pocket, and he knew what to do with it once it was there.
This is it. Glad to have you along for this fourth and final quarter. On the court for Memphis to start the fourth. Morant is the point with Bane out on the wing. Gigi Jackson is out there with Jackson. And it's Edey in at the 5. And some stats here, guys. The scoring breakdown for Minnesota.
Credit them for not settling. I mean, they've been in attack mode off the dribble all game long, and thus far, it's paying off.
I think tonight has also, guys, been about the lost art of the mid-range jumper. If you utilize that in-between game right, there's plenty of value in it.
That free throw, no good.
Now an all-NBA caliber talent, Morant still feels like he has room to improve.
Timberwolves leading by 10. Edwards looking it over. Pass to McDaniels. Down low. Tries to save it. Wants to get it to Edwards and does. Morant with the steal. From downtown. A rebound by the Timberwolves. Gobert's got 10 rebounds here tonight. So active.
And they've only got a slight edge on the boards, but it just feels a lot bigger.
Morant outside. And good as it just snugs right down through the net.
Obviously, Morant has found his flow here, finding plenty of ways to create for himself.
DiVincenzo with it. Shot clock at 6. The Timberwolves need to get a shot off here. Gobert, and that's good.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
Morant outside. This one for 3. Goes back up. Edey gets the bucket.
You're fighting to keep the possession alive, something this guy does so well.
Last quarter of play, about 2 minutes in now. Here's DiVincenzo. Out to Edwards. For the 3. Rebounded by Jackson. And so it's Jackson who brings it up for the Grizzlies. 8-point game. Here's Morant. And finished off by Morant.
How about the authority from Morant? The way he was running, you knew he was aiming to shatter the rim.
Oh, here's Edwards. Randall with a screen for Edwards. From past the arc. Rebounded by Jackson. The Grizzlies trail by 6. Morant with it. Picked up by Edwards. Pass to Edey. Back to Morant. Now Bane. Shoots over DiVincenzo. And it falls over the rim and in. Bane's got his first bucket of the night.
And made for the bright lights. Big bucket there from Bane.
Edwards inside. Guarded by Bane. Edwards against Bane. Randall with a screen for Edwards. With the drive.
No, sir. Jackson Jr.'s shot blocking abilities. Part of why he was a top 5 pick back in 18.
Look at the clock. A little under 3.5 minutes gone here in the fourth. Gobert. Pass to DiVincenzo. Back to Gobert. Clock at 6. Randall outside. There's McDaniels.
Locked in on defense. Bane doesn't give an inch.
Another miss by Minnesota. Morant drives in and finished off by Morant.
A true leader. You can tell Morant takes pride in stepping up when it matters most.
And Gobert hits to Randall. Trying to get something going. Good.
Oh, you just love seeing a player with absolutely no fear.
To me, more often than not, when you attack, good things happen.
And he comes up with the deuce.
A huge shot from Morant. Wow, you see why they put the ball in his hands in those situations.
Oh, here's Edwards. And there's a whistle. That goes on Zach Edey. That's his first foul. And the Timberwolves with possession here. They've led by as many as 11 points. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Edwards passes to DiVincenzo. No good on the triple. And so it's Memphis with it. So far in the fourth quarter, they've allowed just 6 points. 3-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Here's Morant. And then jammed down as he goes right over Rudy Gobert.
And the agility, the hops, Morant just explodes off the floor.
And so they choose to intentionally foul. And he cannot get the first one to drop. Tough one to miss. He's able to hit the second one, and that gives them the lead.
That should be a 2-point lead, but they'll be satisfied to have edged into the lead.
The Grizzlies call timeout. Guys, what's your take on how they maximize their opportunities now?
This is where great coaching can pay dividends.
Well, this is a chance to take the lead, so you've got to draw the play to make it happen. Boy, that's all by design now. Get the shot as soon as possible on that inbound pass.
5 seconds left in the fourth. Here's Edwards. He takes it in.
Oh, fellas, that was vicious two-hand monster slam.
Guys, I don't think there was anyone who could have stopped him on that one. The Grizzlies call timeout. So I'm looking at the clock, and guys, the situation. What do you think we're going to see next?
They've got enough time left to get a good look. It's got to be quick, but it doesn't have to be a heave. You can still catch, turn, and shoot. They've got one shot at it here, obviously. It's a make-or-break situation.
So it's Minnesota taking the W in a close one. All right, DA, thanks again. And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. Let's get it. And this season's still very young. Greg, what are you looking forward to this year?
Well, Kevin, I'm always interested in the rookies, seeing which guys step up. The leap to the NBA can be a huge one, so you never know what will happen with some of these young players.
So with Irving on the bench, here's the 5 for Jason Kidd right now. Davis is out there with P.J. Washington. Then there's Christie. Then it's Derek Lively. And it's Thompson in at the 2. And Davis throws it down.
Davis, such a terror in the open court. With his size and speed, that's a really lethal combination.
And Randall throws it down.
They're going to have to come up with a better matchup. This guy just too much speed.
Here's Christie. Out to Thompson. A 3. And it's McDaniels with the rebound. Outside Edwards. Fires from deep. Drills it from outside.
Nice smooth three-point. Shot by Edwards there. Boy, he's got confidence from behind the arc.
Anthony Edwards is a classic 2-guard. Clark, a spectacular player. What has impressed you most about his development?
Well, he's got a great body. He had it when he got into the league after just 1 year of college. Tremendous basketball body, strength and length and bounce. Now he's worked on refining his skill. I think the biggest thing that's impressed me is not only his work ethic, but his poise. He's not a guy that plays frantically. He plays with intentionality and purpose, and that's a tough thing to do when you've got his athletic ability and you're as young as he is.
Now here's McDaniels. He points his last outing, off to a good start as he hits his first shot attempt.
Strong work inside by the 6'9" Jaden McDaniels, showing how effective he can be down there.
The screen from Thompson. Into the lane. Davis with the screen on DiVincenzo. Davis, the pass to Washington. Clock at 4. Over Edwards. And it's Washington missing.
Very surprising that he came away empty there, especially given room to operate.
And there's Edwards on the assist for Randall. Edwards got 6 points.
Boy, they're on fire right now, cooking with gas, starting this one out 4-5.
Here's Davis. Rebound, Minnesota. It's a 6-point game. And here we go, Timberwolves running again. McDaniels gets a wide open look from outside off the mark. Dallas has gone 0 of 2 from deep here. Again, the miss by the Mavericks. Now the Timberwolves with it. Big stretch here going 10-2. Buries the long-range jumper. McDaniels got his second basket of the night.
Well, he's really feeling it right now, shooting a high percentage to start this game.
Well, we know, GA, the Mavs are so adept at hunting the matchups they want. They're patient and methodical.
They never look like they're in a rush, right? Even when you send a double or trap the ball, the Mavs stay calm and know where to go. It's what makes slowing down their pick and roll so difficult.
Now after the missed 3 from Klay Thompson. Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively, for sure. A silky, smooth jump shooter. Once Thompson senses separation, he's rising without hesitation.
Now, here's DiVincenzo. Still without a basket. And Anthony Edwards gets the three.
The ball movement on this run has been fantastic and is a big part of why they've been able to get these good looks.
Thompson, a screen on DiVincenzo. Christie kicks to Thompson. Washington against Edwards. Washington passes to Thompson. Three-pointer. Another three for Dallas.
Love the response from Thompson there. You knew it was going to be about payback for him.
DiVincenzo against Christie. Randall outside. And again, Minnesota with the triple.
The real come at us, and we're coming right back at
you. A little back and forth from long range. I love it. That's a terrific answer there.
DiVincenzo against Christie. 17 seconds left in the first quarter. The shot by Thompson, no good. Randall outside. Outside, Edwards. Takes a three. The shot, no good. And that concludes the first quarter of play. Minnesota on top. They lead by... And welcome back to the second quarter of action. Plenty of basketball left to play, but this one has been one-sided so far. And let's quickly check out the scoring breakdown here for the Timberwolves.
You know, so far in this one, these guys have been knocking it down from distance. You've got to like their confidence as this game continues. They're on a nice roll.
And also, given the game is more fast-paced nowadays, I like the way they've capitalized in transition, keeping their foot on the gas.
So with Irving on the bench, here's the five for Jason Kidd right now. Daniel Gafford is out there with Davis. Then it's Thompson. Then there's Washington. And it's Christie in at the one. Right now, let's send it over to the sidelines and get a report from David Aldridge.
Kevin, thank you very much. Jaden McDaniels has become an X factor for the Wolves. Mike Conley says, we know what he does defensively, but the offense that he can bring for us balances our unit. It's much needed. Guys tend not to think of him as an offensive player, but he does have that in his game. Kevin?
But I love the reference to an X factor. He definitely is that. All right, David, thank you. On defense, Dallas, 6-point game. Shot clock at 6. And here's DiVincenzo from the arc. And it's Davis with the ball for the Dallas Mavericks. They haven't allowed any points in the second quarter. Davis with a screen on DiVincenzo. Here's Christie. Minnesota with the rebound. Gobert's got his 4th rebound in this one. Special K, we know the trade for Rudy Gobert took some time to click, but now it's looking like a great move.
Well, you know, figuring out how to play two bigs in this day and age with the way the game is played, pretty tricky, a slippery slope. And they stayed with it, to their credit, the Minnesota Timberwolves. And once they got it sorted out, Gobert was a force with his defense and his scoring out of the pick and roll. And I think one of the things undervalued in Gobert's improvement is the addition of Mike Conley. They've got a tremendous relationship, and I think Mike Conley's presence has been a real asset for Gobert as well.
Now, here's DiVincenzo. Rudy Gobert missing his last shot. Over in the corner, Edwards. Puts up a deep three. It's rebounded by Dallas. Washington's got 5 rebounds tonight. Gafford passes to Davis. Davis working in the paint.
AD just shoving past the inside contact that time. Powerful move getting it done.
Thompson against Edwards. To stop the drought. It's rebounded by Dallas.
Not really the best decision. I mean, get the easy 2, the for sure 2. No need to make it fancy and special.
Tough to hit that shot when the D is all over you like that.
Now here's Randall. 5 points in the game. Pass to Edwards. Davis sends it back.
Expert timing by Davis on the block. Right when the ball was at its apex, he got it.
Gafford. Rudy Gobert with the rebound. Timberwolves leading by 4. A 3-ball. Edwards with another miss.
You know, he's just not taking good shots, not taking smart shots, forcing up a lot of low percentage jump there.
Washington kicks to Davis. Pass to Christie. And that one falls coming off of Davis's feed. Christie's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. Here's DiVincenzo. And he takes that one up and powers it through.
DiVincenzo's got major bounce now. This kid is a big-time leaper. He can play at the rim and above it, too.
On the wing, Thompson. McDaniels defending. And there's the call on Dante DiVincenzo. That is his first foul of the game. And 1:01 left in the first half. Thompson dishes to Davis. 6 on the shot clock. Back to Thompson. Beyond the arc.
Just not much success when it comes to shooting.
And it's Randall, top of the key. The Timberwolves working the ball around now. Here's Edwards. Whistle blows. Basket is good. So a chance here for a 3-point play.
That's all weight room right there. Edwards powers through the contact for the hoop and the harm.
First trip to the free throw line for him tonight.
And you know, something I remember from their last game was how good he was at the line.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, he attacked, got to the line a bunch, and cashed in on his chances. You know, he really did excel at the stripe. I mean, they couldn't have asked for too much more from him when it came to knocking down free throws.
And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. Now they're shooting their first free throws of the game.
And going back a season ago, they were a pretty average team at the line, about 76% altogether.
Yeah, as a group, really a dismal year for them from the line last season, guys.
McDaniels kicks to Edwards. Edwards at full speed. And Edwards slams it in.
Yeah, nice, strong finish on the inside.
But Greg, that's what he does. He's got the dunker mentality.
An absolutely tremendous athlete, able to go up and finish over the biggest of defenders.
And so that's the end of the first half. Timberwolves lead by 7. And we'll get it going after this from the Target Center.
This one looking like it could come right down to the wire, which I believe is a horse racing term. And turning our attention back to that first half of action, guys, Anthony Edwards was in complete control. Thank you for being with us.
We played through the first half. Plenty of basketball, though, left in this one. You know, Anthony Edwards has been exceptional here, guys.
And how about the amount he's contributing in the scoring column through 2 quarters? He has been terrific.
And you know what? They've come at him a few different ways defensively, and nothing has slowed him down.
They've got Reed. Clark is out there with Nickeil Alexander-Walker. And it's Minot in at the power forward. So that's the Timberwolves 5. Here's Shannon. Covered by Irving. Pass to Minot. Takes it off the glass. And the Timberwolves lead by 6. Clark, obviously, this is a results league for head coaches. And we're always going to see lots of changes at that position.
I think you're exactly right. I don't necessarily agree with it all the time. I would like to see owners and general managers and decision makers be a little more patient, give coaches a little more runway, but we know it's a results-oriented league, and oftentimes the reality is that it's easier to change one coach than it is perhaps to change a handful of players on a roster that's not performing.
The finish was nice, but the setup was better.
Yeah, GA, the pick working to full effect before the stuff.
And, you know, not enough help from the defense there to compensate. He gets a clean look, and that's exactly how you draw it up.
A fader. And all around the rim that time before dropping in. Irving's got 5 points now this quarter. Here's Alexander Walker. He's defended by Exum. Alexander Walker passes to Shannon. And the call will be against Najee Marshall. That is his first foul of the game. On defense, the Mavericks. They trail by 3. Here's Shannon. He's covered by Irving. Shots good by Shannon.
3 for 3, and that's always a good way to start the second half.
And so it's Irving with it, bringing it up for Dallas.
Minnesota foul. My bad. First personal foul. First team foul.
Here's Marshall. He has yet to score. Outside Irving. Shot clock at 5. Goes up on the wing.
Even with that miss, they're shooting 75% coming out of the break. That's a strong start to the half.
When Naz Reid is out there, Clark, spacing the floor is a real asset for him.
For sure, and you know, he really puts a lot of pressure on the defense because he can score from anywhere on the floor, and he's got great size and strength. And he does the little things too. I mean, you look at his points and rebounds, this guy gets deflections, he goes after loose balls, he gets you extra possessions on the glass, he steps in and takes, I mean, he does all the little and big things.
On its way from Irving for 2. Exum finds Irving. Outside Martin. Offline with his 3. Timberwolves leads by 5. Pass to Minot. The Timberwolves working the ball around now. And here's Reid. Puts up a 3. Traps in the tray.
This is a big part of Reid's value. I mean, he's proficient from deep, and he's got a quick trigger, too.
Irving dishes to Exum. Now Lively. Stolen by Reid. Clark left side. Pass to Shannon. Reid with a screen on Martin. Reid with it. From deep three-point land. And Lively pulls it down. 1:15 left in the third. Exum passes to Marshall. Over Smart. Marshall can't hit. Minnesota's gone 1 of 2 from beyond the arc since coming out of the break. Here's Shannon. Pass to Alexander Walker. Nailed from three-point land. Alexander Walker's got the lead up to 11 now for the Timberwolves. There's 42 seconds left to play in the third. Here's Exum. Dallas, no good that time either.
Solid rebound there, and with the score like it is, that's an area where they can't afford to get lazy.
Yeah, another column in the stat sheet that hasn't gone in their favor. To climb back, they've got to put forth more effort.
Oh, taking it to the rack with power.
Hammering down the two-hand slam.
Really piling on the lead with a dunk like that.
Exum's shot is off.
No matter what looks they get, they just can't convert to stop this run.
And, you know, they've got to be careful because this is when the team concept breaks down and guys start playing hero ball.
And so it's the Minnesota Timberwolves. 13 points up at the end of the period. And let's take now this moment to bring up our State Farm assist of the game.
And I'm glad this was the pick because I love this pass. Such a great dish. That's what I call court vision.
Yeah, and with the accuracy to go along with that vision. I mean, he put the ball in the absolute perfect spot. That's how you orchestrate it.
And with the fourth quarter upon us, time is running out for this game to become competitive. So with Irving on the bench, here's the 5 for Jason Kidd right now. They've got Christie. Davis is out there with Daniel Gafford. And there's Klay Thompson, and it's Washington in at the 3 spot. Christie kicks to Washington. No good from outside. Minnesota leading by 15. Here's McDaniels. Sinks the triple.
Yeah, that's too good a look to give him from behind the arc.
It's stolen by DiVincenzo. And here's the fast break. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here.
Guys like McDaniels, who can guard just about any position on the floor, extremely valuable these days.
Both good from the line that time. Clark, the NBA has seen some iconic personal rivalries over the years. And I'm sure you remember most of them.
Yeah, I do, even those that I wasn't part of as a young basketball player growing up in Cleveland watching, but I read a lot about them. Wilt and Bill Russell, the Celtics and the Lakers and all of those great teams. Obviously, high school graduate of 1979, the Bird and Magic rivalry, easy answer for anybody around my age. And then you think about Isaiah Thomas, who was in my high school class, and then Michael Jordan. Those Pistons-Bulls rivalries were pretty intense and must-watch TV, so there have been a lot over the years.
Thompson misses. Minnesota leading by 17. Outside Edwards. Back to DiVincenzo. 6 to shoot. Pass to McDaniels. The Timberwolves again can't hit. And the foul called on Edwards. That's his first foul.
First personal foul. First team foul.
Here's Thompson. Christie with the screen on McDaniel. Here's Thompson. In the corner, it's Gafford. Washington passes to Thompson. Just 5 on the clock. Dallas needs to get off a shot. Christie.
And, you know, when DiVincenzo keeps his hands moving on defense, he's really effective. Great work there.
Edwards against Washington. Here's the 3. The Timberwolves again can't hit.
And close to making the defense pay for the lax coverage that time.
It's Davis on the wing. He's defended by Randall. Stolen by McDaniels. Edwards looking it over. Randall finds Edwards. 1:56 left in the fourth quarter. Count it. And we'll get a look at how the hustle stat game has been going for the Timberwolves.
I like the fact that they've been very aggressive at the defensive end, tenacious. They're jumping passing lanes and coming away with a lot of steals.
And also, guys, they've been showing how dangerous they are in the open floor. When they see a chance to get easy points, boy, they just jump at it.
5 to shoot. Here's Davis. Lets it go from the baseline and nails it. And now that's 11 points for Davis.
You know what? Sometimes something good can come out of a bad possession. And this is what they wanted. I mean, to announce their presence in this matchup with authority. Very decisive. It can definitely be considered a statement win for the Timberwolves.
The biggest factor tonight had to be their great shooting. They shot much better than the other two.
Yeah, they were working hard on both sides of the floor, but that sky-high field goal percentage plus the pressure defense will force the other team into a lot of misses. Love the effort tonight.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year.
And in the final game of the season series between these two, they did everything out there they needed to close out with a winning record, 3-1 against the Mavericks.
And you know, looking back at all the contributions tonight, it was a really phenomenal all-around game for Anthony Edwards.
Boy, he was absolutely relentless at the offensive end, guys. Smelled blood and went for it.
Saw the opportunity to put this away and did not turn it down.
And, you know, this run shows what kind of attitude this team has. I mean, the win is there. Go get it.
Shot clock and game clock separated by less than 6 seconds. Thompson against Edwards. The three-pointer is right on target.
And you can sense that these fans, these players, they are ready to celebrate.
And I think they can start that celebration right now. I mean, what a terrific team victory.
Thompson looking for an opening. Shoots over McDaniel. And no good. The try spell continuing for him. And so it's the Timberwolves taking care of business here. They won this game going by David. Thanks so much. Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. For David Aldridge, Greg Anthony, and Clark Kellogg, this is Kevin.